We're loud and we're proud.
It's a second family for me. It's like a warm hug. It really is what makes this union so great.
If we have to stand and fight, we're going to stand and fight.
Congratulations, Unifor, on 10 years of standing up for workers in the Atlantic.
"10 years of building our union in Atlantic Canada. Too many struggles, too many victories to count. Our members, our locals, our union, incredible work."
One of the moments that made me most proud to be the Atlantic Regional Director was standing on the picket line in Eastern Passage with our members, standing up for what they deserved.
CN had no intention on actually bargaining in good faith.
They were preparing to bring scabs into the workplace.
Those folks deserve a lot of credit. It was cold, it was miserable days on that picket line, but they stood strong.
They had incredible solidarity, and in the end they got a better collective agreement.
CN Autoport members fought with everything that they had. It was inspiring to be a part of. I could never thank them enough.
They laid a foundation for us to be able to make probably the most significant argument at a time when you need it to make it of why it is anti-scab legislation is important. By coincidence, ended up that I was appearing before the House Commons Committee on this piece of legislation. Autoport, a subsidiary of the very profitable CN Rail, brought replacement workers across the picket line. So it became the live example that we could use for why it is anti-scab legislation is so important in the federal jurisdiction and in every single jurisdiction in the country. We had one of the most difficult lockouts in the history of Unifor in Gander at DJ Composites, almost 2 years on a picket line.
That strike humanized Canadian labor struggle.
We're a small unit, but we're not going to give up, and we know our union has our backs.
When we go into Gander, we will do so with our heads held high.
We had massive amount of support from our national union. There was hundreds and hundreds of people from across this country that came to little old Gander in Newfoundland. It was just overwhelming.
And that strike kind of made it our first venture into cohesiveness and solidarity on picket lines.
The amount of solidarity and support given to those families was absolutely incredible, and it was a showcase for the Canadian labor movement.
One day longer, one day stronger. The workers, united, will never be defeated.
One of my proudest moments of being a Unifor member was during those days of Bill 1.
Stephen McNeil. It's going to get a lot friggin' hotter.
Bill 1 was really an anti-worker bill. It was to divide unions. It was to create disruption between and among unions. Would have resulted in decades of the labor movement being broken in Nova Scotia. And Stephen McNeil did not win, so we outsmarted him, basically. For years and years, our members of Local 1 fought for a shipbuilding policy that would have supported the building of ships in Canada.
We had a campaign, Ships Stay Here in Halifax. That was a tremendous fight.
The result of that was us keeping our workforce steady, the ability to continue to build ships here in Nova Scotia.
We basically kind of turned the ship from an industry that's already seen its best days to an industry that today is on the rise with billions of dollars of work.
And our members have been there every single step of the way.
We're definitely proud we get to keep that here at Halifax.
The biggest crab industry in the world, and here we are getting crumbs and nothing but poverty from those handful of companies that are controlling the entire fishery.
Every single year when they go to the bargaining table to bargain fish prices, it is a battle.
The message was the same. We need to be treated fairly under this pricing system.
Once harvesters were able to use their collective power, things started to change. But in the end, the union continued to push back against that and to win for their members.
What we've achieved today means balance in the system that we didn't have last year. We got it done.
In the last 10 years, the proudest moment for me would be during the pandemic. Hibernia and Terra Nova both faced uncertain futures. We lobbied governments, we fought with the companies. Today, that our membership is at an all-time high, both installations are back to normal operations, we won.
One day longer, one day stronger!
3 years ago, we did have a strike here in Dominion Stores. They were on strike for 13 weeks.
We had enough and we're not letting nothing out or nothing in.
We were still in the pandemic, so they were going to work to make sure the rest of us could, survive this pandemic. And they fought hard and long, and in the end, they got a collective agreement that a lot of them were not happy with. And I felt, as president, we could not just leave this like that.
I remember Lana saying that her mom came up through the retail herself.
My mother. She worked for low wages. For 50 years. If there is one group of companies, one group, that needs to understand the health of our strike fund, it's grocery store barons right now.
That strike, it really became kind of the catalyst to the fight that we took on for grocery store workers. So we developed a strategy for grocery store bargaining, and we had a big fight.
We just ratified a deal a few months ago with Dominion, with Loblaws, but it was because of pattern bargaining that was set through Unifor, and we gained significant increases in our wages.
We fought for grocery store workers, and we won for grocery store workers.
One day stronger!
We do wonderful work for workers, but our work in the community, is starting to be recognized, and I think there's nothing more important than that.
Unifor for me actually has a social justice aspect to it that is a very big difference in any other union that I've seen. Even within our memberships, we recognize the issues that our members face when it comes to, assistance with addictions or when it comes to domestic violence.
They say that not all superheroes wear capes. I would say that CORN, along with the Women's Committee, the support of Lana Payne and the National Union, fought to have paid domestic violence leave here in Nova Scotia, and they fought and they won, and they didn't stop till they won.
If you want something bad enough, you just keep fighting for it, and you have all of us behind you to support you.
Unifor is a union that truly does stand up for anybody, whether it's, someone equity work, LGBTQIA+.
We have a very, very important role to play in making sure that we are doing everything we can to advance equality and to stand up for human rights. These are core principles of our union and of unionism. And if we're not going to use those principles and stand with those principles against a bully who is doing this to kids, when do we stand up?
The only thing that Blaine Higgs has helped, he's helped galvanize the labor movement, because we realize if we don't stick together, it's like a steamroller coming down the road. He's just going to run you over.
The things that he is doing to the people in this province and has done in his reign of terror has been horrific.
Our solidarity has to show up when it's needed the most. And we did that, and we're going to continue to do it. And this premier is likely going to lose an election because he forgot what his job was, which is to build a province, not tear it down.
When I think of Unifor, I think of inclusivity, I think of support.
The work that our members did at the Humanity Project changed lives for those who needed shelter, who needed love. They built these tiny homes in the rain and the snow and the heat, and they did it with smiles on their faces, and so many lives have been impacted. I'm super proud of our members who participated in this build. We're celebrating 10 years of Unifor, and I think today is a really great day to recognize that our national president started her Unifor career right here in the Atlantic region.
I think Lana's really cool, honestly. I'm sure everyone's talked to you about Lana, but having a woman at the forefront
She's breaking them glass ceilings, and she's just sat in the way for all of us.
She's standing at the top to be able to shout it from the mountains for us.
And drawing attention to Atlantic Canada, she takes every opportunity to bolster that.
She understands the issues that are out there.
She's fearless. She doesn't back down. She calls it the Bank of Canada.
She took on the CEO of Bell.
To quote Lana many times, and she's certainly delivering this message when she talks about when we fight, we win. And again, that's a testament of Lana, that's a testament of our union.
She is everything you want a union leader to be.
I've thought about this a long time because as someone from Newfoundland and Labrador, I always wonder how it is we manage to do the kinds of things that we've done and lead on many things. And a lot of it is just, the fight was in many ways about survival. And so when it's about survival, generally also means that survival is about the survival of the community. So the union fight is often a community fight. And this makes the union stronger, it makes communities stronger, and it brings people together in a different way.